Hi, and welcome to L10. I'm your host, Caroline Bednar. This week, we'll explore spring happenings on campus. But first, a few headlines. This past Sunday, Splash finalists battled it out on the turf field. Congratulations to John, Jake, Oleg, Rishan, Alan, Alex, Sanjay, and Charlie on their win. Girls Varsity Lacrosse earned the coveted title of Maple Champions in their 15-9 win against Hill this past weekend. And on Saturday, the Arts Council hosted their annual All Arts Night. Students had the opportunity to hear from artists around campus, attend workshops, and cheer on their houses during the house music video competition. In a year where we've all had to adapt so much, a beloved Lawrenceville theatrical tradition had to be completely reimagined to accommodate COVID restrictions. Hale Brown and Rory Murphy bring you the story of Freshmen Shakespeare.
Well, hello, my name is Mr. Matthew Campbell. I'm the director of theater at the Lawrenceville School.
What was it like directing in a pandemic?
I think one of the biggest things to think about is how can you get close on stage to show relationship, to show those intimate moments. It's been a challenge to kind of play around with that.
And aside from Corona being a con, of course, of the multiplay format, were there any pros?
It's been great getting to work with so many new students. This has been the largest number of students that have been involved in Second Form Shakes. And we've also been able to dabble into some other plays that we haven't yet had the opportunity to play with.
Were there any plays specifically that you were super excited to do with this multiplay format?
Absolutely. Originally, the idea was to bring in smaller casts to do up to 6 different miniature or condensed versions of Shakespeare's plays, and lots were being considered. In the end, we stuck with 3, 2 comedies and a tragedy, Twelfth Night, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and the tragedy being Hamlet. Now, other plays were considered, but in keeping things light, we went more in the comedy realm, touching on tragedy with Hamlet, but keeping things kind of a little bit more on the lighter side of things. I'll leave the rest to student voices to share.
If you had to choose your favorite moment from the play, what would it be?
Definitely the sword fight in Hamlet. I found it really interesting and dramatic.
The sword fight, I feel like it has a lot of action packed in it. My favorite part was when Becky and I sung and danced around because it was just a really funny moment in the play.
If you could choose the next play Periwig puts on, what would it be?
I'm gonna be an insane person and say Cats.
I think Much Ado About Nothing would be an awesome take.
I'd agree with Much Ado About Nothing. I think it's a really great comedy.
What did you think of the multiplay format? Was it weird? Was it difficult? What are your thoughts on that?
It was really cool to see what the other productions put on, and I liked it. It's like in the spirit of Shakespeare, so it was really enjoyable.
I think it's definitely easier when you're working with like less people, but also kind of created a sense of competition between all 3 plays and made it really fun.
Congratulations to all involved in this successful event. Undeterred by the unpredictability this year has brought, students and faculty alike have continued another Lawrenceville tradition, BioBlitzing. Run by science teacher Dr. Clark, this competition encourages participants to explore the wild fauna and flora around them. Lauren Kim and Summer Qureshi bring you the story.
The BioBlitz is an event that we host annually here at the Lawrenceville School. It's part of a bigger, broader program. And in our BioBlitz, the goal is to encourage our community to go outside and document flora and fauna with pictures or with sound recordings. And it's a way for encouraging everyone in our community to go outside and learn more about our local biodiversity. The BioBlitz began because, this is always something that I've been interested in. I've been very passionate about learning more. It was inspired partly because of Lana Struve at the Rutgers University. She started the BioBlitz there, and then because we've been close colleagues for a long time, she helped me initiate the BioBlitz here. And it's a broader program that's national. I mean, this is something that the Park Service is involved with, National Geographic's involved with. So we are one part of the BioBlitz in a really larger community, and it's throughout the world.
Yeah, in there.
In where? Under the concrete.
So the BioBlitz has changed. We have several students in the top 10. Specifically Hannaway Croddick and Michael Morris. They're both going to break 700 species. That's quite remarkable to observe that many species in such a short time period. Remember last year, we launched the BioBlitz before COVID, so people were photographing things from wherever they were around the globe. This year, largely, things have been documented on our campus or locally. Now, of course, we've had students who were remote, like Julia Peel, documented hundreds of things that were really interesting from the Gulf area of Florida. But I'll just add to that, it doesn't necessarily, like getting to a lot of places might not necessarily increase your numbers. It does help, but people have largely found lots of things right here locally. I think the most interesting thing that we've observed this year is a wasp. It's called an ichthyohuman wasp. The scientific name is Xanthopimpla punctata. It was posted by Ty, who's graduating this year, and it's interesting because it would be the first time that species has been observed outside of Asia. Yeah, my advice for BioBlitzers is to take good pictures. Okay, take lots of pictures of the same thing and get outside. So this is a very exciting time to go outside and observe what's flowering and what's out there.
Returning to headline news, this week, fifth formers Chelsea Wang and John Weaver were announced as the valedictorian and Aurelian speaker for the class of 2021, while English teacher Pierre Koistra was selected as the faculty speaker. Also, fifth formers Zach Finaccio, Anjali Kumar, Arata Fuji, and Gabby Medina started Lawrenceville's first student-produced and directed musical in over a decade. Directed by Eleni Lafakis, this group's production of Songs for a New World was a hit. There's a buzz this year about the boys lacrosse team. With a new coach and a powerful squad, Alec Brown has the story.
I'm Lucas Osborne. I'm a midfielder for the Lawrenceville Varsity Lacrosse team. Charlie. I play defense, and I'm a senior on the team.
Through your 4 years on campus, how have you seen the Lawrenceville lacrosse team evolve, especially this year with Posner as a head coach now?
You know, having 3 different head coaches over 4 years, it's definitely been difficult, and missing last season was definitely hard. But you know, I think it's really brought the senior class together, and I think we've all really rallied around having a really good leader. And just like a really awesome and committed coach like Coach P coming in, and I think it's really shaped us and allowed us to be successful this year.
How would you describe Coach Posner?
Intense, devoted, and most of all, he loves his guys. You know, he wants to see us succeed. You know, whether on the field, especially in the classroom, he's always there to support us, and you know, he just wants to see us all reach our full potential.
I think the biggest thing with him is getting on his guys with a positive energy, make sure to push them to the max, as well as creating a good bond with his teammates and other staff members. I think that the camaraderie allows us to do well in the field.
What would you say some of your biggest accomplishments were this year?
Beginning with our big win against Brunswick, I think that's one to remember. Especially being an underdog this year and building up this program. Beating the number 3 team in the country is a huge deal for us.
Winning the Maple was pretty cool. Of course, beating Brunswick. Our LaSalle game, you know, we didn't start out very well, and I think we kind of kept them in it, but it was the game that feels really good to come away from. More importantly, all the team bonding, you know, really close group of guys, and I think that's been something that's really valuable. So the accomplishments and the rankings are great, but at the end of the day, you know, it's about the relationships you make and, you know, having a sort of like the lifelong friends.
Wishing the team a successful end of their season. Finally, Nico Torres talks with beloved athletic trainer Michael Goldenberg, known as G, whose training playlists have become famous across campus.
My name is Michael Goldenberg. I've been here for 32 years. I'm starting to lose count, and I'm one of the athletic trainers. My radio station schedule really is due to Pandora. So I play a lot of Pandora stations, and so we do Michael Jackson Mondays, we do Queen Tuesdays, Wild Card Wednesdays, and that's all depending on my mood. So if I'm in a really bad mood, I'll play Led Zeppelin. If I'm in a good mood, maybe something disco-y like Donna Summers. Thursday would be Country Thursday, and then Friday, Bruno Mars Friday. The station that resonates with me the most is the Michael Jackson station. I basically grew up with Michael Jackson. He reminds me a lot of my high school years. I mean, I love this type of music. It's kind of the music I grew up with. But really, I wanted to give kids an opportunity to listen to different types of music. something different than they usually listen to throughout the day. I would say the typical feedback I receive from the music I play has been 2 thumbs up. People really like it. And back in the old days when we used to have a flake dice machine, I would play Name That Tune. And if somebody got that tune right, I would give them a snow cone. How long have I had this schedule in place? That's a really good question. Years ago, we used to just basically use the radio. And what happened, we got a new modality, we plugged it in, and it interfered with our radio stations. So since my desk was closest to the system, we just kind of hooked the music system up to my computer, and I started playing these Pandora stations. Boy, if there was an 8th day of the week, what station would I add? You know, Pandora has these variety of different types of stations, and one station I kind of found that was kind of cool was what they call the happy station. And it plays all this upbeat, happy type of music. So I'd probably try that and see how that worked.
That's all for this week's show. From all of us here at L10, thanks for watching. As always, if you have a story to tell, let us know, or stop by our office in the basement of Pop Hall. That's all for today. From all of us here at L10, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.